Hi.
Kamusta po kayo? It's nice to meet everyone. Thank you. My name is Ryan, last name Kolton. I'm Ukrainian, Spanish, American, Filipino, and I'm really excited to have this interview.
What do you do? I mean, in the US?
In the US, I am an actor and model. I grew up with shows like CSI, Law and Order, Quantico. I also did a big show with J. Rocco for Netflix, and now I'm currently in the Philippines pursuing acting and modeling as well.
How long you've been here in the Philippines?
2.5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just got here, so I just started learning Tagalog. Pero naintindihan ko, I know Spanish, Russian, Filipino, and English. So Tagalog is going to be the fifth language. So it's quite a process
What made you decide to come here in the Philippines?
to come here originally.
Yes.
So my Lola, she's from here, from the Laguna area. So naturally, I grew up with a lot of stories about the Philippines, and I loved it. Everything from the culture to the people to the way of life here. It's things that I've always wanted to experience myself. So while I was working in the U.S. and also in Russia, because I did acting and modeling around the world, I was slowly planning on coming and visiting the Philippines at last. It was until like 2.5 months ago I received a really great offer that I couldn't refuse, and I finished my show in the US. So I was like, this is the perfect time. So I jumped on the first plane, and immediately the minute I landed, I was already working with Robinsons and Massimo. I did a campaign with SM. I went into Metro Gaisano, started working the modeling front, and then my acting career started to develop as well. And now I'm here. So
Aside from acting, I heard that you also sing.
yes,
You also
sing.
dance.
I've danced before. I professionally danced when I was younger. I used to sing a lot as well. My background actually is very different as well because I grew up as a professional MMA fighter. I'm retired now. I've been doing
MMA fighter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Full MMA. I'm trained in 6 different styles, and I have a black belt in each one. That was my life since I was 5 years old. So then it magically transformed into acting and modeling around when I was 16 years old. And that's when I was more in the States than I was in Russia, because I was originally born in Ukraine. That's where
Ukraine.
my story starts, in Ukraine. But I moved when I was around like 16. I fully moved to the US. So I was in college in UCLA in Los Angeles when I was about 18 years old. So I did MMA throughout my childhood years and my teen years, and then did school. I did dance and singing while I was doing MMA. And then when I was in Los Angeles, that's when I started my acting and modeling career. And it brought me here.
You have lots of talents, no? Pero particularly, what particular you want to do in life? You want to become an actor, you want to become a singer, or you want to become a dancer?
I just want to continue my acting career. That is the most important to me, and it's the one that I have the most passion for, and I love the most. Especially working on shows in both Russia and in the US, it really exposed me to the culture of acting and this in the industry itself. So it's what I love. So that's why I really want to continue it here as well.
Please tell us something about your experiences in US,
In the US market.
in acting, something like that, about your projects there.
Absolutely. Well, like for instance, I worked on J. Rocco, which took place it's a TV show, and it took place in Malibu and in Los Angeles. And that was really exciting because it was one of my first projects, and it really.
What is your role there?
I had the role of Maurice. That was one of the title roles, and it was so exciting to grow up with this character, and it was so new to me at that point because I was very fresh, still in school and still learning the ropes. So I was using all my techniques, and I was so nervous about the scripts. And then flash forward 2 years later, I was already working in New York and doing different roles with CSI and Law and Order, and it was like night and day, and the passion was still there. I would get onto set and I'd love being there and just being in the moment and learning what the character would say and really absorbing it. It's magic. It's the ability to live in a bunch of different lives while still being me. It's really cool. That's my favorite.
Do you think that's one of your challenging role?
In the US?
Yeah? Or do you have any...
I've done some challenging ones. Like, for
Like
instance,
what?
I've done everything from, you know, the boy next door to the boyfriend to I've done a serial killer kid that's been crazy, you know, like night and day from the boyfriend role. I've done, you know, the nice son, the evil son. I've even done a young father once. So it's cool because I morph my image very fast. You know, I can look very young, then I can look very old. You know, like I can look up to like 25, 26, dressed right, of course. And then I can look as young as like 14, 15. You know, as you can see in I just did a Robinsons campaign throughout all of Manila. And I literally look like a kid. I look like a 15 years old. So I've had the ability to play some really tough roles. I think it was the crazy kid role was tough, but yeah, that's some of the challenging ones. Just the ability to change my age is the tough part because I have to change my mindset completely.
Are you ready to enter Philippine Showbiz? I mean, did you research about it?
I've done
About the intrigue about being an actor, a foreigner actor, something like that. You know how to speak Tagalog, something like that.
Of course. Tagalog is really important. That's the first thing. So right now I'm learning full time, and I'm taking singing lessons because singing is very important here. And acting lessons. I grew up on the Ivan Chubik method, which is the same method that ABS uses. So I've done 6 years of that method. So I'm ready to go on that. And as far as being a foreign actor in a foreign place, I'm used to it because I grew up in Russia and Ukraine, you know, so those were my markets. When I was doing films and TV shows in Russian, then I moved into the US and it was a foreign place for me. You know, and now English is my third language, and you wouldn't even tell that it was. You know, I lost the accent. So it's just a matter of time, and it's being open to the new, you know, industry of that specific place. So now coming to the Philippines, it feels like the US all over again for me from Russia. So I'm excited because it brings a new challenge and a new wave of opportunities and obstacles to learn from and grow. So I'm very ready. You know, I'm eager, I'm excited, and I think that I will grow even more as a person as a result. So, absolutely.
Talking about Tagalog language, can I ask some question about Tagalog and then you answer it?
Siyempre.
Yeah. Para at least malaman din ng mga fans here in the Philippines that you know how to speak Tagalog already.
I know. You see, it's hard because I understand the words. I understand the words and I put them all together. But then saying it is the struggle right now. But that's normal, you know, because it's only been 2 months. So
yeah,
you know,
2 months.
I internalize it. I understand that I answer in English, so I have to.
How
learn.
hard is it for you? I mean, speaking Tagalog.
When I first
learning.
started, it was sobrang mahirap. So, but after a while, it's getting better. Right now, me and my coach are working on the pronunciation. You know, like for instance, how baka is a cow or baka is perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, it's these little nuances are so important. So working hard to lose the twang. You know, because I don't want the twang. You know, when I first got to the U.S. from Russia, I had a huge Russian accent. It was awful. So after learning it, that's when more roles opened up for me. So it's the same thing here. You know, so it's just a process. It's the journey. You know, but. Bahala si Batman. It will work out. It will be good.
So let's try it now, ha? I'll ask Tagalog and then
be mabayad.
It's okay. It's okay. Be mabait, be kind. Okay. Of course, nag-research ka na about Filipino, diba? Sino yung mga nakikita mong artist dito na parang nilulok mo na parang makatrabaho or
that I would like to work with. Out of the girls, for sure.
First girls, yeah.
LIZA Soberano.
Wow.
You know why? Because she is perfecto. Honestly, I think that she is the whole deal. You know, she is nice. She is kind. She's a great actress, and she really brings the A game. And she kind of defines what a true actor should be on all the fronts, whether it's acting or endorsements or. I respect her a lot. And I'd be honored to work with her. I mean, she's at the top of her game. Out of the guys, I have a lot of friends in the industry. So and both in ABS and GMA, Viva artists. I have a lot of different friends. That's a tough one. I've met Donnie. Donnie's cool. He has the show now, Playhouse. Yes, the new one. But I gotta say, my friend Ken would be one of the top ones that I would like to learn more
Ken,
from.
it's Enrique here. Ken Chan.
Yeah. I think that he is really good at playing diverse and challenging roles, which is so important for me because that's what I grew up on in the US. You know, not just the same kind of role, but roles that challenge you. You know, whether you're like, for instance, he's playing right now a mild character with a mild disorder and with a bit autistic, and I think that's so fascinating because only 2 years ago he was playing a transgender role, and then he was playing a bad guy role and a college boy role. So I like that a lot. I think he has a lot that I can learn from. So that's Ken, and he's from GMA, I believe. GMA. And then out of the ABS, Enrique Hill is great. He's a great actor. I respect him a lot. I think that
he's a love team of LIZA Soberano.
Exactly, my competition. But what can you do? And I think that as far as the foreign on that competition front, James Reed and me kind of compete on that because he's also a foreigner,
yes.
So that's another one. John Lloyd is great too. Out of the older ones, I think he's great, and I think there's a lot for me to learn from Sam Milby as well, because he's also foreign. So out of those, and then out of the older generation for actresses, Nora Honor is amazing. You know, she is the Meryl Streep of the Philippines, and I think that there's so much that I can learn from her as well, and from her acting. So,
in your country, did you watch Tagalog film or teleserye
I did some teleseries, but it's harder in the US because it's more pay-per-view. It's that challenge that you have to order these shows. But my grandmother always watched, different soaps and
your grandmother is a Filipino, right?
Yeah, my Lola is from Laguna. So that's where I get it from, and it's on my father's side.
So you have 25% Tagalog.
Yeah, so it's in there, especially my height. So there you go.
Actually,
So I have it in me. But it's great. I did watch some, but now that I'm here, I'm watching so much more. Asintado, Stepdaughters, My Special Tatay, Playhouse. I'm watching all of them to learn the language. Every morning I put on, the balitas, and I'm immediately watching the news. So CNN Philippines, I'm watching. So it's good.
Talking about LIZA Soberano, parang is it okay sa'yo na maging third wheel or third party of the Lisken? Kasi sa'yo nabanggit mo yung dalawa. Love triangle, something like that.
Some of the best partnerships started with a love triangle, And
actually, LIZA Soberano is a third party with Katniel.
It's how you work the triangle, right? Diba? So if you have a role and let's say you're the third one, as long as you make your character count, hey, you never know. In 2 more roles, you could be on the love team and the other one is pushed out. So it's time. It's baby steps. So of course I'd love to be.
Are you ready also na mabash ng mga Liskens because you're the third party?
I don't mind. Playing a villain role is hard. Being that person that kills it. It's a challenge, and I love challenges. So.
Pero what particular acting do you want to push through? I mean, you want an action, you want a comedy, you want a rom-com, something like that?
Rom-coms dominate the Philippines, and I love them. I think they're great, and they speak to the heart, and the heart is everything, especially when it comes to acting. So I'd love to do the rom-coms and the teleseries, but action is great too. I'm a fighter, so I'd love to do that as well. Find a way to incorporate some of my fighting background would be absolutely great. But take the action and the rom-com, put it together. That's the perfect story.
Diba you heard also some of the film na ginagawa bilang indie film. Is it okay with you also to do that? I mean, indie film.
Indie films.
It's out of the box film.
But they're pretty good. For instance, I went to the day after Valentine's. Right? The day after Valentine's.
The day after Valentine's.
With Bella Padilla and Jason Santos.
Yes.
So I saw that one. That was an indie film, and it's great. And actually, there's a whole festival in the theaters with indie films. So absolutely, if I get the chance to work on one, Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
I'd love to, because that's even, I think it's even more interesting, you know, than network, because it's even more raw acting, and you get to work with some of the best directors. So I could not say no.
Ryan, you have also you also do workout. I mean, nag-exercise
For
ka.
modeling, yes,
For modeling, something like that. But also, once halimbawa may mga offers sa'yo na to do indie film, which is out of the box, how far yung kaya mong ipakita? I mean, do you show skin, something like that? Or you're 23 years old, right?
23.
Is it okay with you, or parang it's not yet ready for that?
I want a wholesome image, you know, because first of all, everyone knows mystery is everything. You know, you don't want to give away too much, because then what's the point? If you start a book with 50 pages and you read the second page, it tells you everything. What's the point of reading 50? You know, so wholesome. Start ease the way in. You know, I have no mind showing abs. I have them. You can check my Instagram; they're on there. But you know, as far as everything else, it's a progress in time. Maybe down the future, you know, because let's build up to it first. I think that there's so much more that you can explain about characters without going all the way. So, you know, it's in time, maybe. As far as what the management will say. As far as what the management...
So, bali, dahan-dahan. Parang gano'n. Dahan-dahan.
Sobrang dahan-dahan.
Sobrang dahan-dahan.
You know, very...
And then, wait. We heard that you are also a musician.
Well, from the US, I have a lot of music friends, you know, and I was very cultured in music, especially when I was young. So I love pop. Pop is great. I think it's the best to really bring a lot of different people together in one community. So, you know, that's something that I'm learning right now again, you know, taking voice lessons, preparing, rehearsing. So down the line, yes, especially because I'll have a mall tour coming up soon next month.
Tour?
Yeah, and then once that starts, I'll have to sing. So, you know, with that, and then, you know, possibly an album down the line. You know, I was just at the Star Wars for music, so, and I witnessed a lot of great singers there. So, you know, in
What
process.
particular genre you want to share? Pop?
Pop, yeah. Pop is easier, you know, because it connects everybody. And I think that, like, for instance, like Ed Sheeran or Shawn Mendes, you know, that stuff. Hop into rock, pop rock is my favorite.
You wanna do sample of your singing?
I said no. I'll keep the suspense until the show. No, I have to keep it up.
Okay,
But,
Ryan, I just want to ask also, kasi there are lots of Filipino artists here, Filipino actors. How do you compete with them, or how, not competition, but makipagsabayan sa kanila para mapansin ka, di ba?
It's through, like, for instance, take James Reid and take Sam Milby. You know, I think I'm very similar in that pool, because we're all foreigners, you know, and then we have that twang too. How do I compete? I think it's the heart. You know, as long as I can get onto set and translate that I have the same Filipino heart as everybody else, I think that's what's going to connect me with everyone. And then it's the looks for sure make me different. Absolutely. I mean, James Reid looks more Filipino than I do, for sure. And I think that's what stands me out, because I look very different, but as long as I can articulate the same heart, that'll be the best. You know, and then it's the fact that I can speak other languages, and my experiences from abroad, and my technique from the US and from Russia. For all those reasons, I have that different edge, you know, and what I can bring to the character, which you'll see down the line. You know, so for that, I can compete. If I could do it in the US, I could do it here. You know, if I could do it in Russia, I can do it here. My mentality is, why not? You know, try.
No harm in trying.
Absolutely. The worst that's gonna happen is what? You're not gonna make it for a bit, but then you keep trying, keep pushing, and that's my mentality.
What is your message to your future fans? Yan. At least, yeah.
Well, shout out to my army. I have now an army base, Ryan Kolton's army. You know, like Fanatic. My shout out to them is stay tuned, because there's so much more coming. You saw me in the US, you saw me in Russia, you saw me in Ukraine, you saw me in Latin America, and now this is a new market. So kind of like a new me. So stay tuned.
How do you find Filipino fans? Filipino?
Amazing. Truly amazing. Warm, kind, friendly, and so much fun to be with. You know? Like they're like my family away from my family at home. So it's great.
Do you think the Filipino fans na magugustuhan ka or mamahalin ka?
I hope so. Honestly, Batman. I hope so. But they seem to be very receptive right now because before I came here, I had a huge base here already. You know, when I was still in America, I had a big Filipino audience. So, you know, hopefully that just grows. You know, and I think as long as you're kind, you're warm, you know, you're open, and you try your best, what is there not to like? You know, so God willing, God bless. Hopefully they will love me. Hopefully they'll like me. But hey, at least it'll be a fun ride watching me speak in Tagalog on my first teleseries.
Maybe soon to our next interview Tagalog na.
Well, in the next one, let's do a full Tagalog.
Wow.
Everything.
That's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
How many months? We will wait for how many months for that?
Month and a half. Give me a month and a half.
Wow.
Month and a half.
You're a
2
fast
months.
learner.
Yes. Well, I learned Spanish in 3 months. So if I could do Spanish, which hey, Tagalog did come a little bit from Spanish, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
Okay, you want to tell them your social media so that they can follow you?
So you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Ryan M. Kolton, RyanMKolton. And I'll be posting updates and features and more news about my mall tour and more news about the shows that I'll be working on and that I am working on. So there's a few projects already, so definitely stay tuned. And you'll see me pop up around town too. So
Last, what is your message to LIZA Soberano?
Liza, give me a chance.
Chance for what?
Let's go on a coffee date. No, my message to Liza is that I really respect your craft, and it would be an honor to work with you. Truly, you know. Let's meet. Let's chat. You know.
How about Enrique Hill? What's your message?
I can take him. You know, my fighting is my background, so it's okay. Relax. No, joke lang.
Joke lang, baka mabash ka nila.
Joke lang. He's awesome too. So hey, they're a great love team. Look at their success already. So. No, we'll have a whole meeting about it. Let's have a meeting.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you
Nice
so
talking.
much. Maraming salamat po.